Hey guys, so today I thought I would do something a little bit different, something I haven't done in quite some time, and I want to go over my wish list for the next iteration of NHL. So NHL 21, I guess we don't have a firm date on when it's going to come out or anything like that, but I want to talk about the things in Hockey Ultimate Team that I hope to see put into the next game, and I would love to start a conversation about that in the comments section, whether you agree with me, things that you don't agree with, all that kind of stuff. I'll give you about 5 things that I think most of them are going to be quality of life. I don't want to talk about gameplay because that's, I think, is a whole other video in itself. But this will just be things about Hockey Ultimate Team as an actual mode that I would love to see changed going into NHL 21. So let's jump into it. First thing I got to do is give a shout out to my man Tactics. Super happy for Cole that he is the squad battle of the week, which I think is super awesome. And yeah, man, I couldn't be more happy for him as he's a good buddy of mine. And yeah, he definitely earned it. So you can battle Tactic HD's squad in squad battles this week. So let's discuss, the first couple things that I hope to see change as a whole. Again, I don't want to talk about gameplay because I think that's a whole other thing. So we'll talk about quality of life things. And the first thing I want to talk about is being able to search and use the auction house a lot easier than it is right now. So first things first. So let's say you have a player right here, okay, in your lineup. You should be able to see what he's worth from everywhere that you can access this card. So currently, let me explain to you guys what I'm talking about. So if I want to look up a certain card, like just the one card, obviously I can set parameters and whatnot in the auction house, but I'm talking like, let's say I packed a base Eichel at the launch of the game. The only way that I can go and sort and find this card in the auction house is if I go down. I guess this would be kind of dumb. I could have just picked any card. But yeah, okay. So we go down here. We find the base Eichel. Man, there's a lot of prime times. Where is he? Okay, there's base Eichel, okay? So you go to search auction house, and you will find all of the base Eichels here, okay? You should be able to do this from literally every single spot in this game. When you open up a pack, specifically, so you open up a pack, okay? You have no idea. You have the option to quick sell or send to your collection. You can be excited about what the card you got is based on if it's a high rating or not, but regardless, you can't search that card in the pack screen. I would love it if you could click on that card in the pack opening screen and click on it and then go down to search auction house, and it just brings up that one thing. You're not in the auction house in its entirety. If you hit back, it'll go back to the pack screen. I would love to be able to just search that card because then you can actually get a sense of how much you should sell that card for, and you don't have to go in and then later find it because it's just a lot more clicks and going through your inventory when you don't really need to. It's just right there in your team. So I think I would love to see that added in. I would love to be able to sort and find cards other than just going through my collection. Number 2, for the love of God, get rid of contracts and injury cards. I understood why they were put in the game years ago, but at this point, man, there is no need. They are literally just there to be an annoyance and to fill packs. So get them out. Get them out of there. There's no need for contracts or injuries to be in this game. They should, if your player gets injured in game, it shouldn't impact you. You've already lost that player for the game if they're injured. So, like, why would you get hit even more and have to go get an injury card? Like, it's just, you're not getting rewarded for playing the game because now you've got to put contracts in. So just get that completely out of the game. So this one is about Hut Rivals. So Hut Rivals, in my opinion, is a fantastic mode in the sense that it is how online seasons should be. So if you are new to NHL and you haven't played Hut before, Online Seasons is hidden way down here. You go to Online Seasons, this is like you could get from Div 10 all the way up to Div 1, and you win the Div title, and you get a couple different players or packs and whatnot. Nothing crazy. You don't get anything really all that good for it. But no one really plays it, and the problem with Online Seasons has always been if you're in Div 1 and no one's playing, and you search, it can expand, and eventually you'll go like 3 or 4 or 5 divisions lower than what you are, or higher, depending on how low you are. And it's just super easy. Overall, this year's game has been a lot more difficult because of how well Rivals has worked in that sense and how you get matched hard against someone as good as you. But in Online Seasons, that wasn't the case prior years. But Rivals now does that. It matches you against your skill rating, and for the most part, gives you a really hard matchup or someone as good as you, which I think is perfect. The problem with it is you get no reward for winning, really. Like, playing Rivals, like, if I were to lose in a Rivals game, I don't even really notice it. There's really no point in losing. You still get some points. You don't get as much, but you still get points, okay? The problem is that you hit Diamond, okay, and that's all there is to it. Like, you just have to get to Diamond, and then that's it. Who cares? But you can get there by losing. Not every game, but like, you can get there by losing. So, like, there's really no incentive to actually win the game, which is a gigantic problem when it's a competitive game mode. So, what the fix I would implement is, one, be able to see your recent games and a leaderboard. I don't know why that's not in there already, but at least that gives you some reward, some incentive of being like, hey, I'm 9th in the world in Rivals. Like, that's something, okay? Like, that I love. But another alternative, okay, would be that Diamond is Diamond. It's 15% of the competition. Add a reward if you're in the top 100, whether it be an extra ultimate pack, something like that, for getting inside the top 100. Because then, if you're not going to have comp seasons, which we're going to get to in a little bit, Rivals essentially becomes comp seasons. Because at least then, if you get top 100, you get an extra reward, or maybe it's a player every week. Maybe it's a certain card. You know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It just has to be something that you can chase, because how it is right now, it is the most competitive mode in the sense that you're getting matched against players of your skill level. Hard. Like, the mode is essentially designed to make you go, 500. But there's really no reason to be competitive, because if you lose, it's like, who cares? No one's going to see it. Unless you're a streamer, no one's going to see it. So, like, that needs to be adjusted for sure. I think overall, what Rivals is fantastic, and it is what online seasons always should have been, and it just needs to be reworked a little bit. Next, so we got squad battles this year, which I actually think is a fantastic thing. Like, if you want to make a free-to-play team, there has never been a year in NHL for HUT where it's been as easy as it is this year. Like, if you want to get a good team in this game for free, just play your HUT, play your Rivals, play some HUT champs if you can make it, and eventually you're going to get enough packs where you're going to pull something, and even if you don't, you can trade those things in and get some coins, or trade them in for gold collectibles and build yourself a good card. Like, it has never been easier to get a free-to-play team. So, HUT squad battles, I love. The one thing that NHL is missing now is a mode that doesn't take a long time. So right now, if you go into Hockey Ultimate Team, you are, like, at minimum, spending 30 minutes, whether it's finding a game, setting your lineup, whatever, checking the auction house real quick, then getting into a game. If you play the full thing out, you're looking at 20, 30 minutes. I would love it if there was, like, something I could do and play that, wasn't as competitive, like, HUT champs and what Rivals is. Rivals, if there was a leaderboard and, like, those things I suggested in the last thing, it would be really competitive. There isn't anything that's, like, chill, laid back. I guess that's what Online Seasons is right now, because that's, if you're a really good player, you're getting matched against players way outside your division because no one plays it. But, like, shootouts. I would love it to bring, not only just so I could test out my players in a shootout mode, I would love that, because then at least you get to see how they handle the puck, all those kinds of things, but it's fast. And you could tie rewards to it. So if you are, it doesn't have to be a weekly thing, but, like, if you could, get to a certain rating or win a certain amount of games, you get, special jerseys or something cosmetic to say, hey, this is cool. Or even a card, like a 88 overall something, like UC Jokinen, who's amazing at shootouts. Like, that would be cool. And it's not breaking the game because you're only getting, a slight upgrade card. It doesn't have to be an 88. It could be like an 86 at launch, something like that. But add in another mode which you could play. I would love it to be shootouts. I would love it to be, like, just 3-on-3 overtime or a 3-on-3 full game. It doesn't really matter. Just something smaller that's faster, that isn't nearly as competitive as what we've got right now. All right, so I guess I said I wanted to do 5 things, but I guess I'll just rattle off way more. So the pack thing. So I'll buy a pack right now, okay? When you open up a pack, regardless of when it is in the year, like, it goes purple. I'm not going to pull anything purple here, but it goes purple when, like, you pull something cool. So it goes gold there. I pulled Timo Meier. But it goes purple when you pull something good. In June, if I see that purple light up and it's like Brent Burns for the 80th time. I just don't like it. Like, that sucks. But that's fine if you want to make that card purple and whatnot. But also, like, the 90s and the Team of the Weeks and stuff like that are in the high 90s, anything over 85 should go purple, in my opinion. That's super small, and like, I don't know why it annoys me so much. But, you know, I want to see that in animation. The purple, you know, is going to be sick. Let us see that for all the cards throughout the year that, you know, after the base cards. A practice mode. Just like I said, shootouts, I want to test out my guys would be another way to test out, like, the players' hands and whatnot. Man, an exhibition game is fine to test out your players. I want to go into practice mode and see how my 91, you know, master set in November Patrick Kane goes. Like, I want to be able to run around and test him out. And not to mention, and we get loan cards, and loans are a whole other thing, but if we get loan cards, like, I know we get to test them in-game, but it's very difficult to test out a card in-game, because it's so quick. Like, you don't have, like, you know, that just where you focus on that one card. Let us go into practice mode, just like you do in offline, and try out the cards that we have on our team. If we have a loan card, we could test out that loan card. It would just give us a better feel if we really want to go after it. I think that would be a really good addition to the game. Draft Champs, you can't see it because it's all the way hidden down in the corner here behind my camera. Man, either do something with it or get it out of the game. Like, I think it was NHL 17 was the last time we actually got a reward for Draft Champs. Dude, like, you could make a comp season that's Draft Champs, much like they have, like, BR in MLB. If you don't know what BR is, it's in MLB. Basically, what you do is it's Draft Champs. You spend, like, 1,000 coins or whatever. It would be a different value because 1,000 coins in this doesn't mean nearly the same as MLB. But you spend 5,000 coins to enter. You draft a team randomly. You then go until you lose twice, but if you can get to like 10 wins before you lose twice, you get a really nice reward, whether it's an ultimate team pack or an ultimate pack, or just like whatever card is assigned for that week. Like, Draft Champs as a mode is a cool mode. It's just super underutilized. Like, I remember back in, I think it was NHL 17, you could grind out Draft Champs, and you could end up with like the Manny Malhotra or the Willie Mitchell, and I think Ray Emery, and they were actually cool, but you grinded for them. Like, you had to play a ton of Draft Champs, and you could get those cards. That's cool. That's missing in NHL and HUT. I would love something like that, where you can play a ton and you'll get rewarded with a specific card. There needs to be more of that in this game, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about comp seasons. So, man, comp seasons is kind of... I played HUT Champs games, apparently. All right, so comp seasons is kind of, I understand why people want it. I think that if it were to come back, though, it's just more of the same thing if it was just to add in the way it used to be, okay? Like, it's really just like Rivals. It just has a 100, like, the top 100 get a certain card. And, like, this year it's been all packs, but, man, I remember last year or even the year before where, like, you got top 100 in a comp season and you got a specific, like, Eric Stahl card that was a certain rating. If you're going to do a comp season or have those back, like, that's how I would do it, where, like, the top 100 get a certain card. Because it's a good flex. Like, it's fun to be able to use a card that you earned. It also gives us something to do it. But I know a lot of people, like, in a perfect world, what I would want comp seasons to be is something where it's only restrictive and it's a fun, different mode. The problem with it that people don't seem to want to understand is that not a lot of people play those restrictive comp seasons because you need to build a separate team for it. I think that a lot of people just assume that everyone that plays Hockey Ultimate Team is going to build a full base card team or a full silver card team. Like, at the beginning of the game, maybe, but, like, if say it's November and, you know, things are kind of dying down from launch, if you have something where it's like only teams in Europe can be used, you're not going to see a ton because you have to go well out of your way to then build a team for that, which is awesome, and I would love that. And if there was cross-console available, which is a whole other thing, I would love it if it was cross-console. If it was cross-console, then a lot of the issues in NHL would be fixed because you would always find a game. I think that would make it tough. But if you're going to have comp seasons, make them all restrictive. Keep Rivals with what I said, where the top 100 in Rivals for each week get something specific, and then, you know, go from there. I think comp seasons needs to not be just like a a weekly Rivals that has a different reward tier to it. Like, I think that's kind of pointless. So if you're going to have comp seasons, make it different. Like, it could be players over 6 foot, players under 6 foot. Like, those would be cool comp seasons to see. I'd really like to see those because it'd just be interesting. So it'd be a different way to play the game. All right, and next, I think this might be the last one. Hut Champs. All right, so the issue with Hut Champs is I think that while as a mode... Okay, this is going to be a different rant, I guess. A lot of the problems that people seem to have with NHL is they think that they cater to the top players only, and they only listen to the top players because, well, they have the loudest voice in the community, which I totally understand. The guys that are the best in the world, you know, they give their opinions, and then a lot of people just assume what they're saying is correct, and then they just voice it even though it isn't their own opinion. But, like, Hut Champs is the only mode in which you need to listen to the competitive community. It should be. You should not have the top 20 to 40 players. Now, I would say there's probably 50 players every week that have an actual shot at maybe top 5 or top 10. I'd say maybe there's 100 players in total every week that have a potential shot at top 20. And that's fine, because you have to think, it is the most competitive aspect of this game. The best players should be the only ones that should be able to get top 20. Okay? Dodging and all that crap, like, that needs to go. There needs to be a way. I'll probably have to do a Hut Champs thing as in its entirety, but being able to dodge and whatnot is just a joke. And if you do it, like, but regardless, I'm not going to talk about that. The rewards for Hut Champs need to be something that is actually rewarding for the players that can get it. Okay, now obviously I'm not gonna, get top 5 in Hut Champs. Okay, like it won't happen anymore. These old thumbs are dusty. It's not gonna work. All right, but I'll play it every week because A, I like the competitiveness of it. B, it's fun where, it's exhilarating to play the game at a high level. Okay, and try to win. Like, that's what you should be wanting to do if you are trying to get better at the game and whatnot. But the rewards should not feel like a chore. Like, you should not have top-end players going into every weekend and being like, ugh, like it's Tony DeAngelo. He's just a shorter defenseman. Like, I'll play it because it's Hut Champs and, but, I don't care. Like, that can't happen. So, here's my proposition for rewards. Either make it at the launch of the game, start at the launch of the game. You give us a line. So there will be a left wing, center, right wing, left defense, and right defense, and goaltender, okay? And for the first 6 weeks of the game, those are the rewards that you can get. So first week, you finish, you can choose any of the 6 cards. It doesn't matter. You can choose. If you get top 20, you can choose in the range of whatever they are. So, if you get 5th, you get the 90 version. If you get, 5 to 10, you get the 89 version. However it scales, that's fine. I don't really care about that. But you should be able to choose it so that you can help your team. What happened this year was I think it was 5 straight weeks of left defensemen. And it's like, at a certain point, why are we trying to get this card that isn't going to benefit our team? The only reason is for clout and, ego and the flashiness, which is sick, which is what you should have. But, that can't be the only reason. It's got to benefit you. Either have it where you can choose a lineup and then you have a multi-select, whatever position you need, you select that. Or give them an option to say, if it's at launch, if it's an 88 overall card, make it 100. You could choose to make 150,000 coins. It doesn't break the market. It allows the players that get the top end to buy the actual or reward themselves with the card that they actually want instead of the one that they're just handed, even if they've earned it, but it's just like, that week that they did really well, it's just like that card isn't very good. It's like that can't happen in my opinion. It's the most competitive game mode in the thing. You need to listen to your competitive community. You can't have rewards that are just meh, because then you've already got a chore in Rivals. Because of how Rivals works, you're just literally playing the game to get diamond. Like, that's it. There's nothing else to it. So now you got to play your Hut Champs games even though they're not very good, right? Like, that needs to change. So let me know, guys, what you think in the comment section down below. These are just the things that I find to be most, the things I would love to see change the most in Hockey Ultimate Team. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think as well. Please leave a comment down in the comment section. Please give the video a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe for daily Hut content if you haven't already. I'll see you guys tomorrow.